Alright guys, I'm going to get right to it today. I'm going to start off by finishing up line work for this picture here, and then I'm going to move on to my animation. So, probably not too much in the way of talking introduction today. Got a pretty busy weekend, so I got to get as much as I can done this morning. Alright. Got my reference ready, because I got a little problem with Jennifer's other leg there. When I went to go do some line work, I kind of realized I didn't know what the hell's going on there. So I got some reference to help square that away. Alright, let's do this. So I'm gonna work a little loosey-goosey over here to start out. One second. What's going on, David? I just saw that you entered the chat. Alright. So, what's going on, Jeremiah? How you doing this morning? Alright, so I'm gonna start off by getting her other knee figured out. I'm gonna do that on a different layer. A lot of folks love Team Fortress 2. But right on, man. I appreciate you stopping in and taking a look at my videos, man. As you're probably aware, they take a little while to make, so I appreciate it when people take the time to comment on them and express their appreciation in healthy ways. So, thank you, sir. What class do you use in Team Fortress? I'm actually going to sharpen this thigh here. So over here is where it comes out. Very cool. When I used to play, I used to use the spy, but that was because I used the spy when I was a kid. Nothing against all the others. It's just, that was mine. Sniper is definitely a popular one. Alright, so let's do this. I need to articulate the areas where most of the interaction between the muscles is taking place. Got a little bit of her side kneecap here. That's where it meets up with the tuberosity, the tibial tuberosity. That's it. You know, I'm actually not too big of a Marvel fan in general, so things that they put out lately, I'm not really interested. So no, I did not see it. Nothing against Marvel. It's not my thing. Not really. I'm kind of a casual, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There we go. So now I can actually make her, actually draw her knee somewhat properly. Kneecap. Yeah, I haven't seen those trailers, so I probably should give them a fair shake here. All right, hang on. There's too much going on. I gotta narrow down these things. That is not the end of the stream. That is just my laundry needing to be changed. Finish this. How you doing, Sag? That's okay. I don't mind the quiet. People want to come in and watch me draw. That's cool. Shoot, when I was doing these things without streaming, it was, I mean, I was all by myself. I didn't have anyone. I didn't have any audience. Oh, shoot, my laundry. What's going on, Johnny? Yeah, we're just still doing some line work today. But let me keep this on the loop back here so you guys have something to watch move. This is the primary focus today. Alright, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to step away and do my laundry. All right. What have I missed in the chat? Yeah, I did, Seg. It takes a while. Achimi, 1010. I don't know if I call something like this the Lord's work. I think it's actually like the diametric opposite. But I get what you're saying. Thank you. Johnny. Yeah, I could see your message. I wasn't at my computer. And Alistor, what's up, man? Alright, so what I actually got to do, I was kind of realizing this as I was drawing. I'm not ready to really line this yet. It still needs work. It still needs a lot of sketch work for like details and whatever. So I'm gonna do that before I start lining it. So I'm just gonna spend a little more time developing the characters. So I'll be doing some sketching for that. I'll probably do this for about a half hour, and then I'm gonna get to work on that cartoon. I use a smaller brush actually. And Achimi. I'm just calling you Achimi. It's hanging pretty good. How's it hanging with you? These details, I can seriously overdevelop this. Just me, right? I feel like nothing I do is working today. What's going on, Nayland? Just doing some more sketch work, same as always. Just Oh well, I'm kind of glad that I got that right. That was a. You should probably rest assured that wasn't intentional at all. I totally didn't know what the hell I was reading. Hachiyemi. In terms of how much detail is required, just enough. Well, I don't know. Enough to where when I look at it, it's like. I guess I don't know. I guess there's not really a concrete answer to that. I just kind of eyeball it, and then if I'm satisfied with it, then I'm satisfied with it, you know. So. My work's a little more stylized, though, so I don't really... Oh, what the hell's going on? Come on. My work is more stylized, so I don't need to be too much of a stickler for it. I just need to have enough to where, like, when I go over it with the black lines, it's just when I go over it with the black lines, then I don't need to have any guesswork. That's kind of a problem I realized I was having, is that I was having to do some guesswork with the lines, and I'm not entirely comfortable doing it that way. So if I allow myself to go back and be a little sloppy with it and get those details in, then great. Dude, it's true. I can't, these are not good clothes. I'm the main reason is I can't identify like where like the tension points are, because like this is a weird, like, it's a weird sort of like not a poncho, but it like hangs over his shoulders, and I don't know where the tension points are for it. So I'm just drawing like cloth back here to help sell the fact it's clothes. I would never fib to y'all. I'm not a fibber. You guys ever seen that movie, 8 Crazy Nights? I like that movie. I know it's kind of, I know the potty humor is kind of childish and kind of gross, if I'm being honest, but the animation's like top notch. Is such good animation for such a, like, for an Adam Sandler production. It's like, dude, they hired like the best animators to animate some of the dumbest things. It's not a bad movie. Like, it's in a weird way I kind of like it. It's not I don't know, guilty pleasure, I guess. But yeah, the number one way you overcome the cloth thing, at least how I overcome it is reference. You gotta have reference for these things. I don't have reference pulled up right now. But I kind of feel like I have enough to where I can get away with it. So far, the client likes what I'm doing, so. That's the main thing. Yeah, that's the thing, man. There are parts of it that I really do want to like, because like it does have some pretty poignant human moments in it. Like it genuinely does. The whole backstory behind how Davy, like, you know, lost his parents, used to be a good kid, but then he turned into like the town drunk out of sadness. Like that was some powerful stuff, man. You know? And then that whole thing where the town's like abusing Whitey, and how he's trying to, like, you know, get back in good graces with like his you know, childhood friend, and you know, get past his grief. All that stuff is actually, it's good stuff. But man, like, did they really need to go through with the potty humor? Like, that sank the movie, in my opinion. If they made like a cut where they got rid of all that, that'd be pretty. That'd actually be a pretty good watch. What's going on, Turo? Not Turo. Toro. Turo is a app where you can rent someone's car. It's a lot cheaper than a rent-a-car. Alright. We got the... I'm gonna go ahead and put in my little bits there. That's just like cloth. Yeah, no, Sandler did a whole bunch of the work for that movie. And he did great, I thought. Like, the voice work was very good. The acting was damn good too. It's just Adam Sandler is sometimes his own worst enemy. I gotta shrink these fingers, they're way too big. Thing is, Sandler is actually a pretty good actor when he actually acts seriously. He does really good stuff. It's just, for some reason, he chooses to greenlight the dumbest stuff, like Jack and Jill. There was a masterpiece of a movie. You know what? That's a question I have for the chat. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie? Mine, personally, is, it's a toss-up between Waterboy and Happy Gilmore, but I'd probably say Happy Gilmore. Oh, I might have accidentally drawn the hand in. Anger management, that's a good one. That's a respectable choice, actually. Well, that's the thing. Adam Sandler movies, they are good. If you don't cross a certain year threshold, like 2000. Everything pre-2000 Adam Sandler is generally pretty good. Damn, you're throwing hella shade at Adam Sandler, bro. I love it. I'm gonna put a little indicator for some mud on his boots. Rain Over Me? What's that? Is that an Adam Sandler movie? I never heard of that. And Toro, it's going okay. I drew in Jennifer's knees yesterday. That was bugging the hell out of me. So I drew them in. They look a lot better. At this point, I'm just lining in all of I'm lining in the line work. I don't know why I made that sound so complicated, but that's what I'm doing right now. Hotel Transylvania, would you count that as an Adam Sandler movie? It's an animated movie by Illumination, isn't it? So it's like, I wouldn't really know if I count that as an Adam Sandler movie, but you know what? I'll allow it. JCR. My day is, well, it's still early. Jury's still out, but, you know, so far so good. How's yours? Rain? Oh, okay, so it's a serious Adam Sandler movie. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when the dude does good, or when he actually tries to act, the dude can do it. You know? He's actually really talented. There was that one that came out oh, what the hell is the wrong one? There was that one that came out a couple of years ago. It was called, like Uncut Gems. About like him being like a in over his head like pawn shop dealer trying to make some moolah on the mafia. I heard that one was pretty good. Bedtime stories, eh? I remember the commercials for that one. I didn't actually watch it. Yeah, see, it's like I want to root for Adam Sandler. I genuinely like the dude. He seems like a good guy. It's just the dude needs to stop. The dude needs to stop making just whatever the hell he's making. Like, he needs to stop making every like first idea that comes to his head. Grown-ups. Jesus. Yeah, you know, I think the first Grown Ups, you know, isn't bad. it's not exactly a movie that is gonna win any awards or nothing, but wasn't terrible. It was what it was, you know. Like everyone knows what they're getting into when they watch a movie like Grown Ups. It's like wacky comedy for the whole family type stuff. Oof, you know what that reminds me of? I'm sure a lot of you have seen The Prince of Egypt, but whenever I look at like the cover art they used to have for like the video cassettes and all that stuff, they marketed that movie so poorly. Like that thing was an animation powerhouse, and they were just marketing it as like some kid-friendly like Bible movie. Which I guess if you look at it for what it is, that's what it is. It's just like, bro, it is so much more than that. Prince of Egypt is one of my favorite movies, and I don't even go to church. Yeah, that's right. Anyone who didn't perform well in that movie they called it Shrek'd. They would get sent to go do that weird ogre movie that down the hole that is bound to fail. You know what? Guess which one got sequels? That was funny. It didn't bomb, but it didn't bomb, but it didn't really. Yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of money. It didn't put the company's future in danger or anything, but it was like, yeah. Achimi, I very much disagree with you on that. I think Prince of Egypt was anything but meh. I think it was amazing. Probably one of the best. Probably one of the best animated movies ever made. Period. And the story was great. So yeah, I'd fight you on that, bro. I would engage in fisticuffs. Oh hell yeah, The Road to El Dorado. That's one, dude. My brother and I used to watch that all the time when we were kids. All right, Toro. Honestly, I think I might be talking too much anyway. D. Edward. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll get to my animations in a minute, I swear. I'm trying to fulfill some commission work. Oh. Okay, yeah, I thought you were saying Prince of Egypt was men. I was like, what? I don't think many folks would disagree with you on that end. Yeah, I've got a somewhat of a fondness for Adam Sandler. It's just the dude needs to get out of his own way. Man, I think I like the way that the sketchy insides look. I think I'm gonna keep them. So let's say I turn these all black, and they'll blend in just fine with the. They'll blend in just fine with the line work. Let me go ahead and do it all at once. There, see? None the wiser. Nope, this is glitching out. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of a growing problem. I've kind of gotten tired of Chris Pratt in that sense myself. Like the dude just plays himself. And I've especially grown to like just I'm sick of The Rock, dude. He kind of injects himself wherever he can, and like tries to hijack stuff. Yeah, The Rock's kind of one of those dudes. Yeah, I mean, thing is, this whole shindig about like obsession with 3D is really an American thing. The Europeans are still all about 2D. Like they never went anywhere for them. The Americans are the only ones who decided they like, you know, they wanted to basically just abandon 2D. No, I understand what you meant. All right. I'm probably gonna need to go to my animation now. I'm gonna come back and do this on my own time. All right. Yeah, the Europeans are some of the best. We've lost a lot of ground to them. Not to say it's a bad thing. If they do great, everybody wins. But it's just like, you know, we used to dominate, absolutely dominate animation. But we stopped. All right. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna come back and do this on my own time, probably this afternoon. But for now, I am going to start working on the animation. All right. So we're at kind of a pretty big inflection point with this thing today. So what we're doing today is we're having the big sort of motion when she brings her hand up here. That's what I'm going to be working on today. This is the only pass I'm going to take after the line work this time. I think I'm less interested in the line work quality and more about the shapes. And as I look at it, I mean, the shapes aren't like perfect, but the relationship between them all is relatively consistent. I'll need to go back, obviously, and do some cleanup for like some weird oddities, but overall, it looks pretty consistent. Okay. Take a quick 5, and then I'll be right back. Studio Ghibli. My wife and I will still watch those once in a while, but I don't know. Like, did what do you guys think of that newest one that he made? What was it? The Boy and the Heron. What do you guys think of that one? Uh, and by he I mean Hayao Miyazaki. Hayao Miyazaki and his team. Hmm. Okay, fair point. It was a good movie. I might need to give that movie another watch because the first time I watched it, I hated it. I thought it was terrible. Like it to me was it's all of the worst indulgences of Hayao Miyazaki's method of making movies all like rolled up into one. Like it was so there was no to me there was no clear understandable structure and to the story. And I also thought that the main character was very unlikable. I thought he was not a very good protagonist. I honestly thought he was a bit of a spoiled brat. That opening to the movie was pretty top notch. I thought the opening was seriously gripping stuff. I think the best stuff these days comes out of Studio Chizu. Yeah, I know. He and Goro Miyazaki have a lot of problems actually. That's okay. You have time to find the words. I ain't going nowhere. I am gonna need to. Yeah, I gotta add it in between here. Oh shoot, that was the wrong one. Boom. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it was the latest movie to come from Studio Ghibli, and it was directed by Hayao Miyazaki, Mr. I'm gonna retire 15 times. You know, the messed up thing is that they actually had, there was a, what was it? Um, there was a successor for Miyazaki. He made Whisper of the Heart. What was his name? Whisper of the Heart. There we go. Okay, so it was directed by a fella named Yoshifumi Kondo, and he was well, he was a very talented animator, apparently, according to this article I read a while back. And he was supposed to be Studio Ghibli's next like major leader. He was like a protege to Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata. And unfortunately, he kind of had a brain aneurysm and died after he made Whisper of the Heart. Yeah. Which is a shame, because Whisper of the Heart, like that, I didn't know that one existed, and there was a point in time when I was always kind of like looking around for new animes to watch, and I watched that and I was seriously impressed. That was great stuff. Really is a shame that we lost that guy. He was he would have done great things. Same with Satoshi Kon. That dude was taken from us way too early. Yeah, Satoshi Kon, he did was it, it's not Paprika, I don't think it's called, but he also did Millennium Actress, Tokyo Godfathers, Perfect Blue. Like those are all really, really great movies. What's going on, Tiger? I don't Here's the thing, all right? I haven't actually I think did Goro Miyazaki make I believe he made this one called From Up on Poppy Hill. Did you guys watch that one? Cause yeah, Earwig and the Witch. That was a really gross looking movie. Like I did not like the 3D at all. Like oh my god, it was actually the stuff of nightmares. He did Tales from Earthsea as well. Here's the thing. All right, here's kind of a problem I have with Hayao Miyazaki. All right, so Hayao Miyazaki, don't get me wrong, I think he is absolutely one of the best who ever lived. All right, like I absolutely adore his movies. If I were to start again, I would start with Tiger One. This is for you. I would start with the ones either like from the glory days, like Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away. I personally recommend Spirited Away. That I think is definitely his best. But Howl's Moving Castle is a good one too. But back to my point. So Howl's Moving Castle, right? Good movie on its own right. That's the movie that made me fall in love with Studio Ghibli, right? My wife has read Howl's Moving Castle, the book, all right, and she told me about it. If we were to examine the faithfulness of the adaptation, Hayao Miyazaki did a bad job. He did not actually do a good job of adapting the source material. He kind of just took the basic plot line and just made it his own. And if you were to have read the book and watched the movie, and this is like I haven't read the book, so I guess I can't really be a voice of authority on the matter too much. But my wife swears up and down that that is not a good adaptation because the story like is different in this way, X, Y, and Z. And from the sound of it, it's like this dude was allowed to kind of just do whatever he wanted to the book because screw you, I'm Hayao Miyazaki, I do what I want, right? All right, fair enough. It's a good movie overall. Now, Goro Miyazaki did the same thing with Tales from Earthsea, and everyone gave him absolute hell for it. Like, they ripped him a new one from deviating for the source material. And the book, I mean, the movie wasn't like terrific, but it wasn't like one of the worst things ever made. And so I find that kind of gross. Like, there's a huge double standard when it comes to judging Hayao Miyazaki. Like, he can do things that no one else can, including his own son. And so I don't dislike Hayao Miyazaki at all. I think his movies are amazing, but I think he is extremely overhyped sometimes. Like, the dude doesn't make all of the creative financial decisions. He has teams of writers and stuff that help him along the way. That helped him along the way when he was making all of his, really big movies and stuff. But with him, I kind of get an Emperor's New Clothes. I kind of get an Emperor's New Clothes feel. Like, the dude can do no wrong, and if you don't like it, that just means you don't understand it. That was the feeling that I got from Boy and the Heron. I watched it, and I'm like the rest of you. I'm an audience member. I can follow stories. I've studied stories in the past, and I know I have some insight into how they're developed and all that stuff. But general audiences are extremely intelligent, and they can sense bad writing. And you know what? I too am a general audience member. I could not follow what the hell was going on in The Boy and the Heron. And I distinctly remember in the first, hour, I was very bored. Like, I was like, what? Like, I don't understand what the main character wants. I don't know what he's trying to do. There is no struggle for me to, root for him. And then, when things do take off, the purpose of what is happening in the plot, it just wasn't clear. It just was not clear what the hell was happening in the movie. But the thing is, I did a little bit of research on it after the movie was over to see if anybody else thought what I did. I thought the movie was not good. And someone else was like, yeah, dude, I watched this thing and I swear, I didn't understand what the hell was going on with the main character or anything. But critics are swearing up and down, up and down. This is the greatest achievement. Hayao Miyazaki did it again, in a very poignant and, reflective movie. And I'm like, what the hell movie did you watch? I thought the movie was super convoluted and confusing. So Miyazaki, I think he's given a lot of the time very unfair leniency when at least compared to other directors. This dude can get away with murder. In other words, he can get away with making a subpar movie, and folks will still just say it's the greatest thing since the invention of film itself. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant. Just sometimes when I think of Miyazaki, those are my feelings on him lately. It's the dude can get away with murder and people will thank him for it. But I will never say the guy is a bad filmmaker. Ever. That is because that is abjectly not true. Miyazaki's one of the best. It's just you gotta give criticism where it's due, man. Yeah, me too. Tiger 1. Or Dave Reviews. Yeah, you're talking about Sophie, right? I never thought she was confusing. I actually kind of liked her a little bit. It's just when you look at her compared to what she was in the book, it's like a whole different personality. Like he really did not carry her personality from the book over at all. She's a lot more spunky and like she's kind of a smartass. And she's like Howl's like not intellectual equal in the sense that like she can't do magic or nothing, but she doesn't really put up with his crap. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of that in Howl's Moving Castle, the movie. It's just not enough of it. But that said, I still love it. I still love that movie to death. Jimmy, yeah, that's true. Comic books are like that as well. It seems people use that just to kind of like jump off. That's like all media though. That's kind of how it goes. Oh my god, especially Rings of Power. Oh my, dude. Oh my. Oh Jesus, the most expensive fan fiction ever made. Um, Tiger One. Just really quick before we go off on a Rings of Power tangent, I highly recommend if you're gonna jump into Studio Ghibli. There's a few kind of like movies you gotta watch before you can really kind of feel yourself, or at least give yourself a fair shake for the breadth of things they can do. You need to watch Spirited Away first of all. You need to watch Princess Mononoke. And you know what? Studio Ghibli fans out there, let me ask you a question and sound off in the comments. Would you recommend to a first timer, like someone who's like watched, like Spirited Away and all that, they're still new to Studio Ghibli, would you recommend Grave of the Fireflies? And yeah, Totoro is amazing. Okay. I got one, yeah. Ponyo, definitely. Oh man. See, that's the thing. Ponyo, there's so many good movies from that studio, man. Like, oh my god, I can't you gotta recommend all of them, really. Um you know what? Tiger, I guess the main two I would suggest personally myself are Spirited Away and Howl's not Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke. But if you want to watch a movie that you will never forget, and you will only watch once, watch Grave of the Fireflies. That's one of the saddest movies I've ever seen. Jesus. Shit. I got a little emotional actually thinking about it. Yeah, if you're in the mood for something that's like, it's both like it's bittersweet and extremely tragic. I would Grave of the Fireflies is one of yeah, shit, I hate talking about that. Yeah, keep things light. Watch Ponyo or Totoro. Those are excellent movies for kids. I'll be upfront about I'll be upfront about Grave of the Fireflies. That one did make me cry. I generally don't cry for movies either. I do sometimes. The movie is like really, really good, and the moment calls for it. But Grave of the Fireflies, that one did make me cry. If you watch it, you'll understand. I know that people overuse how much an anime animes these days, like they'll actually they'll get you emotional and all that. And there are a lot of anime that do that. I've watched a lot of those emotional animes people talk about, and there are some like Sword Art Online, for example. I've heard people say that one is like super emotional, and I watched it and it's like it's pretty good, I guess. Full Metal Alchemist, that one's pretty good too, but and at some point they'll all make you a little emotional. But Grave of the Fireflies is another level, man. It's not even comparable. You know what I want to know about Grave of the Fireflies and My Neighbor Totoro? Who had the genius idea to release those on the same day as like a double feature? It's like, hey, in one studio or in one movie theater, we've got My Neighbor Totoro, a joyous and wonderful children's story about a couple of sisters who meet a giant teddy bear and go on magical adventures in the woods. And then in the other theater, we've got two children starving to death in World War II. Like, hey, there's a great double feature. Once we're done watching the teddy bear, we'll watch children starving to death. Jesus. Yeah, that's literally Barbie and Oppenheimer, the original Barbie and the original Barbenheimer. Grave of the Totoro. That said, I do like My Neighbor Totoro. That one's a lot of fun. My wife's favorite is Ponyo. She loves Ponyo. I know this cartoon's moving along a little slower than my last ones, but it's slower action. It's a slower action entirely, so I gotta be I gotta be a little more cognizant of the drawings. Nayland, are you talking about why do I keep calling it Oppenheimer? Oppenheimer or Grave of the Fireflies? Yeah, Kiki's one of my personal favorites too. I've watched that one probably more than the rest of them. I don't know. I really like that one. There's something bubbly about it. I don't know. Oh, well, Nayland, you might as well blame me right now because, well, you're probably going to. I don't think you'll get scared. Don't worry. I don't think scary is the term that I would use to describe Grave of the Fireflies. It is just so how would I describe it? It's like a slow-moving train wreck. You can like that you can't stop. That's coming straight for your exact location, like your room. You're watching this train that nothing can stop. It's coming straight for you. It's gonna smash right into your house. You can't move, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. That's kind of one way I describe Grave of the Fireflies. It's a slow-moving train wreck that you can see coming from miles away that you can't stop, and nothing prepares you for the impact. Well, Tiger won not necessarily only for that reason. I mean, it's the movie itself and the way that it, I don't know. It's the movie, man. You gotta watch it and see for yourself. What do I think of 3D blending with 2D? I like it when done right. A lot of it, it's kind of hit or miss, but what was that one? It was that one, Jesus. Damn it. Klaus. That was it, Klaus. When that got made, that integrated 2D and 3D, and it was like, wow. You know? I'll be right back, guys. I need to do something really quick. Have this on a loop for you. Sorry about that. I was in the middle of a chat with someone. Yeah, no, Klaus is amazing. And Spider-Verse is amazing too. I'm not gonna rag on it. It really is a good movie. Yeah, you gotta be careful tossing around that word, man. That might get you in trouble. But yeah, I'm aware that you weren't saying anything derogatory. Thing is, you go back and you watch Hunchback of Notre Dame, they toss that word around like it's an adjective. Well, the proper term is Romani. That's what they're actually known as, and that's what they identify as. The term gypsy, that's a European invention, and it's meant in a derogatory fashion. I get it though. I mean, like I'm like everybody else. That term wasn't so bad when we were growing up. I've heard it said a lot, um, but I try to avoid saying stuff like that. When I have my own kids one day, I don't want them saying anything like that. It's not nice. I'll have them saying the proper term. Well, they're Romani. They're not. I don't think that means Romanian. I think Romani and Romanian are different. Let me see. All right, actually, dudes. I gotta go to a meeting really quick. Regarding a different project. I'll have to come back. Probably in about an hour. Sorry, I got to split. But it's regarding my other job. So, I'll come back this afternoon. Sorry, dudes. Check back later this afternoon.